Hello, class. I'm trying a new thing where I'm going to start producing videos to model the classroom instruction. Since for my students who either arrive late, who can't make it to class when the instruction is going on, and that way they can still complete the assignments. What I remember in the last lesson, we did black and white images where we added pops of color back into it. And what we did was we had a color image. We would then desaturate the image using a layer mask from the adjustment panel. So we would hit the black and white layer mask on the adjustment panel. It would desaturate the image. Then we would use our brush tool with a standard black and white color palette to bring back that color information. Black would reveal the information that was on the layer beneath it. So the layer beneath at the bottom would have the color information, and the layer mask on top will reveal what was in the layer that was beneath it. So bringing back the color information that was contained in the layer that was beneath the layer that we were editing. Layer masks affect the layer that is directly below it. It allows us to do non-destructive editing on our images. So today's lesson, we're going to use a different type of layer mask. We're going to use what we call a clipping mask. And with the clipping mask, what it does, it will clip the image that is beneath the layer and reveal the information from the layer above it. So what I need you to do first is to make sure you have Photoshop open. I want you to go to your web browser. And remember, on your web browser, I need you to search for an image. I did Japanese koi fish because I think they're beautiful and I like them. So I typed in Japanese koi and did the search. Remember, in your search tools, you're going to go to select your, and it's going to say size here. So you're going to select large. So these are the images that are going to give you a good resolution that you can use in your image. Now, don't select the images like this that have watermarks on them, because that's just going to take away from your image. You're going to want to look for a clean image that doesn't have any watermarks that's going to give you a good resolution. Remember, when you click on that image, you're going to have to hold down your control key and click and do save image as, and remember where you save it to. Okay, so I'm saving it to my clipping mask folder. Once you have that done, go back to Photoshop and go File and Open. I want you to go to where your image was at, and I want you to select the image that you want to use and click Open. I'm using the Japanese temple shrine image for my clipping mask. Once I do that, then the first thing that I want to do is I want to duplicate this layer because I don't want to damage this background layer or the original image. Two ways to do that. I can come up here and go to Layer, Duplicate Layer, and it will add a new layer. The fastest way to do it, or the shortcut, is to grab this layer, drag it down to the second icon from the left, where it looks like a piece of paper with the corner folded up. That's the create new layer icon, so it's going to duplicate whatever I bring down to it. So now I have background copy and background layer. Well, now I also need to add another blank layer. So I'm going to click on my background layer because it's going to add the layer above what I have selected. So I need the layer to be sandwiched between those two color information. So I'm going to select background, click create new layer. And if you look at the layer, you'll see it has a checkerboard pattern, which means that it's transparent. So I need to fill it with some color information. So I need to fill it with white. So I'm going to come over here to my palette. I see it's not default color, so I'm going to hit D. And I want to fill it with white, so I'll toggle the white on top. I'll come up here to the sixth icon down if I'm coming down on my rows. If it's double rows, it'll be 12. And I'm going to select my paint bucket tool. Then I'm just going to click, because I had layer 1 selected. Now you see layer 1 is filled with white. If I turn off this eyeball, you see that it's a white layer. Okay, I turn it back on. That reveals the information. Remember, I told you that layers are stacks, and you only see on your canvas what's on the top of the stack. It's like a stack of papers. Next, I'm going to select my background copy layer because I want the new thing that I'm going to do. I'm going to add a text layer. to show up on top so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to select my horizontal type tool, which is the first option. I'm going to click on this layer and I'm going to turn on my caps lock and I'm going to type Japan. And you see it appears in white because I have white selected as my default color. It would be black if I had black selected. For this image, white is easier to see than black. So you'll have to determine on your image, you may want to switch it to black. Once I do that, I'm going to select my move tool. Once my move tool is selected, you see I have this transform control box with these little anchors on it. If you don't see that around your text, make sure that you have a check mark up here for show transform controls. As you can see, if I unclick it, it goes away. If I click it, it comes back. Now I can resize my text. So I just grab a corner, drag it around, I make it as big as I want. Okay? I don't take it all the way to the edge. I want a little bit of space around it to add interest. And then I want to try to center it on my canvas. Now that I have that done, because I've done adjustments to it, I need to hit my return or enter key to accept the changes that I did. I moved it from a small size to a large size. If I don't do that, I'm not going to be able to do anything else because it's stuck waiting for a response from me. So now that I have it selected, I'm going to come over back to my layers panel. I'm going to click on the Japan layer or my text layer, and I'm going to move it one layer down below my background copy. Okay? So it's now hidden. It's on the second sheet up. So now I go back up and select my background copy layer. Once I do that, then I'll come up here to the layer menu, and I'll come down here to where it says create clipping mask. Once I do that, look at that. It clipped all the rest of the information away and revealed what was in the furthest layer down, layer 1. By taking my text, I also could put a symbol here or a shape here if I wanted to. And then the neat thing that I like about clipping mask is with the top layer selected, I can click with my move tool. I can move it around still within this image. So I can get any part of the image that I want to reveal. And I want looked at mine before and I said I kind of want the kanji to appear coming down the middle of these. So I can move it around and try to get it at the best part. So if I wanted to have a little black down here and on my end, I can do that. If I don't want to see any, then I don't have to. So I can play around with it and adjust it. Now that I've selected the text layer, I'm going to come down here to add some effects to the text. So I'm going to add a layer style. I can do this by going layer, layer style, and select all my options here. I want a drop shadow, but I can also do it down here too, to layer style, and it'll pop down in a pop-up window. So either way, I'll get to the drop shadow window, the layer style. Typically, it might come up in the middle of your screen, so move it off to the side so that you can see what you're doing. Okay, with the drop shadow, then you can adjust the angle, the direction that your shadow's going to go. I want mine to go down and to the right. I can adjust the distance, how far apart, how far away from the letters I actually make it. I can also control the spread if I want it crisp or if I want it to get blurry, and the size. Okay, so I think I want it about here, and I'm going to hit OK. Now that I have this adjusted, I want to change the background from white to a different color. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to sample some colors out of this image. And to do that, I'll do that with the eyedropper tool. And I'll sample, say maybe here. Maybe here. And then I'll come and toggle to put black on top. And I'll sample maybe here. That's a little too dark for me. How about there? Okay. Or I could just simply click on it and then I can go through the move, adjust through here. You see, and then when I click, I can click on a new color. So however you want to do it. Now you can do a straight paint bucket fill and it's going to do the top layer. So if I want to, I'm going to duplicate this layer so I can show you. You don't have to do it for your assignment. Take the paint bucket and I can just click on this layer and I fill it with orange, with a solid color. Of course I would want to do something different. Let me try the yellow. Scents. Okay, I feel like that. That looks better. But what I want to do, I think, for my images, I want to add a gradation of color. So I'm going to click back on the paint bucket. I'm going to go to my gradient tool. And as you can see up here, depending on what's on top, is the first, where I first click, that's the color I'm going to have. So I'm going to have my orange yellow there, and I go here, here. You see the gradation? I can go top to bottom, left to right, right to left, or corner up. So I can do any type of resolution that I want with it. I'm going to stick with this one. Okay, so that's the second option. So I can do that or I can do this. Which one do you like better? I kind of like that one. It's more, it has a more warm feeling. But then I also have a third option that I can do. I can go and open up another image and add it to the background. So I'll go File, Open. And I can come here and I had downloaded some koi fish photos already. So what I'll do now is I have that open, so I have my original image and the secondary image. And I'm going to go to Select, All. So I have these marching, dancing ants going around my picture to tell me it selected this. I'll go Edit and I'll copy it. Click back on my first image and I'll go Edit and I'll paste it. Now go back and select my Move tool and I can move this to the corner and resize the image. And I can move it up, adjust it how I want, and I'm going to hit Enter to accept my changes. So which one do you like better? Do you like this one? Do you like this one? Or do you like that one? So those are the options that I have. So you can select which one you like, which one you want to submit. If you like more than one, you can save them all and put them all up on your Weebly page. I only need you to submit one of the files. And to say, remember to say, I need you to save a Photoshop and a JPEG. So you'll go to File, Save, Photoshop. You'll name it first initial, last name, CM, and it'll have the PSD extension for the Photoshop file. All right, and then you'll go File, Save As, and this time you'll change the same file name. You'll have PSD. You'll come down here and select JPG, and you have a JPEG file. Save it. Just remember, when you save the files, just accept all defaults, okay? And then save it. Then I need you to submit the Photoshop file and the JPEG file to Schoology. Then I need you to upload both files to your Google Drive, and please update your Weebly page with this new image. Thanks.